He gave his one only son for people like us. So Jesus, I just ask today that we will be grateful. Teach us the art of gratitude. God, may we be grateful that you care for people like us, that you love your children so much. Today we praise you, Lord. We thank you for giving this hour. In Jesus' precious name we pray. The music's still playing.
Yes.
There we go. I haven't preached in 3 weeks. Thank you, Barry, for sharing last week. I appreciate you preaching for us last week. Thank you so much, David. Thank you for preaching 2 weeks ago. Or Pastor Mike preached 3 weeks ago. I was having a conversation with a lady at a restaurant about 2 weeks ago, I guess it was. We were talking. It was early in the morning. It was actually March. And we're sitting talking, having breakfast, and I got preachy. She goes, I can tell you I haven't preached in a couple of weeks. You're kind of preachy. And I said, yeah. It's when you're a preacher, you want to preach. And I haven't for a while. So I'm excited today that I get to stand and share God's word with you again. So I do thank you for giving me some time away. I did enjoy myself greatly. It was a wonderful vacation and a good time at the monastery and a good time at Danville. So let's pray for the message today that God just moves in our hearts. Lord, I want to thank you for your word that is living and active. It teaches us to know who you are and how you want to treat your children, what you want for us, Lord. I just ask today that you will do something with this message that I can't do. Father, I can put words out there, but only you can change lives. I can string sentences together, Lord God. Your Holy Spirit is what moves in our heart to imprint this message upon our minds and upon our hearts to change our life. And so God, I just ask today that you will do what I can't do. That you'll move beyond what I have to say. And that you'll whisper into the ear of every man, woman, and child that's in this church today. Lord, this message stands once again between heaven and hell. And people could choose where their eternity will lie based upon what is heard today. So may we never take lightly what your word says. May your message ring in our ears to cause us to contemplate what we need to do with the rest of our days. Thank you, Lord, for this time. Thank you for your peace. Speak to me. In Jesus' name, amen. What's the value of a human being? What value can you put on the head of a man, a woman, or a child? We went to Gettysburg on vacation. We went through an area that talked a lot about slavery. And there was a chart on the wall that gave the value of a slave back in the days of the Civil War. An average black 5-year-old boy in America with no physical deformities could be sold as a slave at auction for $12. $12. A black girl of the same age would be sold for $10. A 25-year-old male who had skills would fetch as much as $120. But the value would drop if there were any ailments. And as you know, so many slaves that came over from overseas and spending so much time on a ship came with such sickness that most men would be sold for about $80. The value of a woman who could cook and could sew would be $80, but the sickness or the inability to bear a child would drop her value to about $40. $40, the value of a slave. Now, not all people in America have such low value to some. In 1963, Frank Sinatra Jr. Was kidnapped. I don't know if you remember the story or not. He was actually kidnapped from his hotel at Harrah's Casino. The 3 kidnappers asked for $240,000. That was the value that was put on Frank Sinatra Jr.'s head. $240,000. And Frank paid that price for his son, and his son was released. How about Patty Hearst? You remember the Patty Hearst story? Some of you probably seen some of that information that she supposedly was kidnapped. We still don't know today the whole story, but supposedly was kidnapped at 19 from Berkeley, California. They asked for $70 million in food relief. $70 million given across the state of California to people that were hungry. And it turns out that her father paid close to $400 million for her release. $400 million for release. What's the value of a person? What's the value of a person? I sat with my insurance agent a few years ago, and he told me my value. He took the expense of what it would cost my wife to live out her days, which was great. And then he added 3 children to the picture to get them through college, which was more. And he said, you need to have this much money of insurance if you would die today. And I knew exactly what I was worth. I knew what my value was. And I found out that I was worth more dead than alive. Right? Most of us are. Worth more dead than alive. What is the value of a person? What is the value? You know, every day we give value to people. We put value on people's heads that we work with. We put a value on this message. When this message is over with today, you're going to decide whether it had any value in your life or not. When the job is finished, we put the value on the one who completed it. We put value on those people we spend time with. Wives put value on their husbands' heads. Husbands put values on their wives' heads. Every day we live in this approval rating system. And we wonder what a person is worth. What is their value? What are they worth to me? What can they do for me? And how much value do they have if they have nothing to offer? But what do we do with people that have nothing to offer? How much are they worth? What value do we place upon an inmate in prison? An old woman who's alone in a nursing home and has no children or grandchildren to take care of her. What is she worth? What is the value of a child living on the streets in India that has no parents? How much are they worth? The world puts value on people, doesn't it? The world tells us how much someone is worth. But maybe the greater question today is, how much does God think a person is worth? How much value does God put upon an individual's life? You know, the Bible is filled with stories of people who seem to have little value by the world's standards. The lame man at the pool of Shiloh, little children, the woman who was subject to bleeding. How much value did the world put upon them? Today we're going to be in Mark chapter 5. I'm going to read a passage to you that talks about the value that God puts upon a man that the world would say has no value whatsoever. We've been in the book of Mark. We've been talking about this idea of shallow faith is not enough. We have to be people of great faith. God wants us to be people of great faith. We see the great faith that Jesus has. He's trying to share it with his disciples. We come to this story in Mark chapter 5 about this man who's possessed by a legion of demons. Mark 5, verse 3. They went across the lake to the region of the Gerasenes. When Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an evil spirit came from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with chains, for he had often been chained hand and foot, but tore the chains apart and broke the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day among the tombs and in the hills, he would cry out and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell on his knees in front of him. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want from me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? Swear to God that you won't torture me." For Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you evil spirit." Then Jesus said to him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," he replied, "for we are many." And he begged Jesus again and again not to send them out of the area. A large herd of pigs was feeding on a nearby hillside. The demons begged Jesus, "Send us among the pigs. Allow us to go into them." He gave them permission. The evil spirit came out and went into the pigs. The herd, about 2,000 in number, rushed down the steep bank into the lake and were drowned. Those tending the pigs ran off and reported this in the town and the countryside, and the people went out to see what had happened. And when they came to Jesus, they saw the man who had been demon-possessed by a legion of demons sitting there, dressed and in his right mind. I catch these words, and they were afraid. Those who had seen it told the people what had happened to the demon-possessed man and about the pigs as well. And the people began to plead with Jesus to leave their region. As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been possessed begged to go with him, and Jesus did not let him, and said, "Go home to your family and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you." So the men went away and began to tell the Decapolis how much Jesus had done for him, and all the people were amazed. So let me ask you, how much is this man worth? What's his value? What's the value of the demon-possessed man? What's the value of a man who lives among the tombs? What's the value of a man who's possessed by a legion between 600 and 2,000? Someone who no one can subdue. Someone who is bound by chains time and time again, but who tears the chains apart. Someone who's on the run from the law, and the law can do nothing about it. Someone who's loud and obnoxious, keeping people up at night. What's the value of a man who runs around naked, cutting himself with stones? What is he worth? What is he worth? What value would we, even as Christians, place upon a man like that? Now, I want you to picture the scene with me. This scene so often begins in Mark 5:1, and sometimes putting those little numbers in the passages did not help us. We think that the passage starts at 5:1, but it really doesn't. It begins with what Barry shared last week. Barry's talking about Jesus getting into a boat with the disciples and going across the water. What happened when they were going across the water? Do you remember? There was a storm, right? And what was Jesus doing in the storm? He was sleeping in the back of the boat. He was a good sleeper, evidently. He understood peace like the disciples didn't get. He's asleep. There's a storm. And think about how bad this storm's got to be. These men that are in the boat with Jesus, some of them were fishermen. Now, if fishermen are in a boat and they're scared, it's bad, right? I mean, it's bad. That's the beginning of the story. They get in the boat, they go across this area, and they land in the Decapolis, the Gerasenes, 10 cities. 10 cities. Now, I want you to catch them. Look at me in your Bibles. You got your Bibles open. Mark chapter 4, verse 35. Mark 4, verse 35. Jesus says these words, "Let us go over to the other side." Now, this is really important. Jesus says to the disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." They're on one side of the Sea of Galilee. They're going to get in a boat. They're going to go over to the other side. Okay, pretty simple, right? Now remember, what did the people tell Jesus when they saw the man sitting dressed in his right mind? What did they tell him to do? They told him to leave, right? To leave. Let's catch it. Then in verse 21, Mark chapter 5, verse 21. When Jesus had again crossed over by boat to the other side of the lake, let's get the picture here. Jesus on this side of the lake, gets in the boat, travels to the other side of the lake. While he's there, one story happens. People don't like this very well. They tell Jesus to leave. Where does Jesus go? Back where he started. Okay, he's here, over here, and then Jesus came back. How many people did Jesus cast demons out of on that day? Did he see him healing anybody with physical deformities? Do you see Jesus feeding anybody when he's on the other side of the lake? How many people on this day did Jesus take care of? How many? One. Just one. Jesus gets in a boat, risks the lives of 12 disciples to go through a storm to see this guy who's living amongst the tombs, who cuts himself, who runs around naked, who's loud and obnoxious, who's on the run from the law, and the police can do nothing about. Jesus does this whole thing for that guy. For a guy like that. How many of us would cross the street for a guy like that? And Jesus crosses the sea in a storm for a guy like that. But that's not even needed. I'm thinking to myself, Jesus is on the earth for 33 and a half years, and he takes 2 days out of his schedule for a guy like that? He's limited to 3.5 years of ministry, and he takes 2 days of his ministry go into a herd of pigs, right? How many pigs were there? Do you remember the story? It tells us how many pigs? How many? 2,000 pigs. 2,000 pigs. Average weight, 200 pounds. Prices of hogs in America today, 59 cents a pound. $238,000 worth of pork goes into the sea. $238,000 worth of pork is ground that day. How many of you would cross the sea in a storm and give $238,000 and go back to where you started for a guy who lives amongst the tombs and cuts himself, possessed by a legion of demons, runs around naked at night, cutting himself and screaming out? How many of you would put that kind of value on a man like that? What value does Jesus put on the head of people? How much does Jesus love people? You see, I think it's easy for us to say that, sure, Jesus loves people like us. But people like that. And you know, the Bible is filled with stories of people like that. People that don't seem to have any value. People that really aren't adding to society. How about the story in Luke chapter 18 about the blind beggar who's sitting along the roadside? He has no way to make a living. He has no family to help him. He has no worth in society. What can he do? Who can he help? What difference can he make? And his man hears that Jesus is coming up, and he cries out to Jesus. And when he cries out to Jesus, the disciples rebuke him. Shut up, man! Jesus doesn't want to mess with you. But nothing can be farther from the truth, right? Because Jesus cared about this man. And Jesus goes up to the man and says, what can I do for you? And the man says, I want to see. And Jesus says, you've got so much value to me. I'll give your sight back to you. He did. Because Jesus sees the value of a man. Or how about Zacchaeus, Luke chapter 19? He's a tax collector. He's hated by the community. He's considered a thief and a robber. He was wealthy only because he had stole from the poor. As a matter of fact, he was a short thief. I don't know why the Bible says that. What does the Bible put that in? Have you ever wondered? What difference does it make whether he was tall or short? But the Bible says that David was tall and beautiful, and Zacchaeus is short and not. Why? What value does it make? What difference does it? It may make difference to our eyes, but it doesn't make difference in God's eyes, does it? Because God looked at Zacchaeus. He saw a man who had climbed a tree to see him. He said, Jesus, Zacchaeus, you get down here. I'm going to your house. We're having a party together. Because Jesus saw the value of a man. Or what about the woman who was crippled who came to church? 18 years she'd been crippled. 18 years she'd been bent over. The Bible says she had a spirit of infirmity upon her. And the religious leaders would not help her. They wouldn't help her because she didn't have any value. They wouldn't help her because it was the Sabbath day. And you can't heal somebody on the Sabbath day. Everybody knows you can't heal somebody, and especially somebody like that on the Sabbath day. But Jesus saw her and said, that woman, she's got value. What about the poor man who was named Lazarus? He's sitting at the rich man's house. He was hungry. He hoped for some food that would fall off of the table. He hoped that somebody would take care of him. He was sick. His body was covered with sores. The dogs would lick the sores day and night. Now the rich man had value, right? He was a rich man. But the poor man, Lazarus, the rich man saw him on the steps. He didn't feed him. He didn't give him a doctor. He didn't give him some medicine. He didn't even give him a place to stay. But the rich man has value. We know how the story ends, right? Lazarus, the poor man, goes to Abraham's bosom. And the rich man begs for a drop of water with his tongue. You see, Jesus saw value in that man. And maybe the whole thing kind of concludes with this idea. There's a king who has a great banquet. He invites all these people to come to it. And this one guy says, I can't come. I just bought some oxen. And another guy says, I can't come. I just got married. And another guy says, I can't come. I just got a field. And he says, go out. He says, go out and invite anybody and everybody. He says, bring me the poor. Bring me the crippled. Bring me the blind. Bring me the lame. These people had value even when we don't see their value, Jesus sees what they're worth. And if Jesus will give $238,000 in 2 days of his life to a man who's possessed by a legion of demons, living amongst the tombs, what will he give for you? What will he do for you? I can tell you what Jesus will do for you. Jesus sees so much value in you that he will climb up on a cross, will stretch his hands out wide, and he will give his life for you. That is what he will do for you. He says, I see so much value in these people that I will die for these people. I see so much value in these people, I will go to the cross with them. I see so much value in these people that I will give my life so they can be with me for all eternity. I see so much value in these people, I will make a way for them to get to go to heaven and be with my Father for all eternity. You have so much value in the eyes of Jesus. He took your place, died for you, hung on your cross. That's the love that Jesus has for you, and that's the value that he sees in you. Today, when you take these elements, what are you worth? You are worth the life of the Son of God. That is what you are worth. That is what God says when he gives his Son. These people are worth my Son. I love them so much. I will give my Son for a demoniac in the tombs, running around naked. I'll give my Son for even someone like that. I don't know what the world is telling you your value is. I'm telling you today, in the eyes of God, you have great value. You are worth more than what any man, woman on this world would say you are worth. Because no one would give their Son for you. No one but God. God would. God did. Today you're all invited to come and partake of communion. You don't have to be a member of this church. You just need to be a member of the body of Christ. If you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you are welcome to come and take a piece of bread. Take it back to your pew and sit with it for a moment. Take a cup and take it back to your pew. Sit with it for just a moment and think. This is the value that God sees in me. This is the love that God has shown to me. This is what Jesus thinks that I'm worth. God, I don't think I'm worth this. I don't think I'm worth this. God, I'm a sinner who's fallen so short. Messed up, live, talk, or act the way that I think I should. I've not been a faithful son. And God, I really believe that all of us in this place can look into our lives and see a little bit of that in ourselves. But our actions have not stopped you from loving us. As a matter of fact, our actions have caused you to love us so deeply that you gave us this gift of your Son. So today, as we take this bread, as we drink this cup, may we remember the body of your Son who died for us. May we remember the blood of Jesus who was shed for the forgiveness of our sins. We take these elements today, Lord God, in incredible gratitude that you saw value in us. So much value that you gave us this gift of eternal life. Help us to feel like we are loved today as we receive these elements. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Some of the deacons are going to be up here. They're going to be holding these elements. Come down the sides if you would. Take the bread, take the cup, go back to your seat, sit for a moment, and think about what it is that Jesus has done for you. As you're ready.